Hi, I'm Phyllis Shapiro. Welcome to my Oriental Medicine video blog. I have been a licensed acupuncturist in New York since early 1996, so I'm going on my 16th year as a practitioner of this wonderfully ancient medicine that really treats almost everything that doesn't need a surgical intervention. I'll put it that way. I do recommend Western medicine when I feel it's appropriate, and in fact I have a son who's an orthopedic surgeon, so I can't be totally against Western medicine. Chinese medicine, what does it entail? It has 8 branches or specialties, if you would like. The ones that I choose and have studied to practice are acupuncture, Chinese herbology, and Chinese bodywork called Tui Na. In addition, I personally do Qigong, which is a breathing exercise, and Tai Chi Chuan, which is a series of moves that are meant to strengthen your body and mind, help with balance, and not that I do it, but certainly would help you in combat. These things ultimately were combat exercises. I have given a blog on general acupuncture. I have done one of these now on infertility. In fact, my infertility board, or some of my pictures, are now behind me. This is my office space. But today I'd like to focus on stress. I am frequently asked, what is it that I see most when people come to my office? And my response over the whole 15 years has really been stress. Stress causes different reactions in your body and is really the source or the root cause of many illnesses, certainly internally caused illnesses. So what exactly is stress? I'm stressed out. I'm overworked. I'm good stress, bad stress. In reality, stress is any event or thought or thing that can occur to you. It's anything that affects you, that comes into you. Again, good or bad. And what happens, or what's important, is not that stress or things or events are happening, but how you specifically handle it. So that if you're feeling in a very strong and powerful moment, then even bad stress will sort of bounce off you. It's just something that happens. When you're in a weak frame of mind or a weak physical condition, then stress can enter. And it usually manifests itself on a place on you particularly that has been your weak point. So that weak point might be stomach ailments and digestive disorders. It might be headaches. It might be shoulder and neck tension. It might just be an explosion of anger or some other inappropriate response in the setting in which you find yourself. How do we treat stress? Well, I have a combined background at this point in my life. Chinese medicine is probably my last educational experience, or my most recent educational experience. But prior to that, I did do some drug counseling, and I have a rabbinic degree. And so what I have learned is that you need to practice ways of dealing with a situation before you get to it, so that you are prepared to handle it when it comes your way. One of the ways I give people is just to say, this is stressful. If you recognize it in an outward manner that way, you don't need to internalize it. If you practice when you have stress, either taking out your book, or I say if you have nothing else, write stress on your hand if you don't recognize what's causing it. But, oops, I'm getting that neck tension. What should I do? Stress. Go back later and see what was causing it. What could you have done? Was there another way to have handled the situation? From my medical perspective, there are certainly points on the body that we can use that are specifically designed to calm your spirit and your mind. So to relieve that external or internal source of stress, what happens after that is we deal, or at the same time here, we deal with what is that external manifestation. If it's stomach ailments, we deal with your distress and your stomach ailments, whether it manifests as we might call a violently reactive stomach heat or intestinal heat, and we can clear that. If it's shoulder pain or neck pain, we deal with the specific meridians or pathways. We may put needles in, we may do some tuina. Other methods that we have is cupping, where we apply a cup with suction to your back, and it pulls out the stagnation or what's blocking you from moving and thinking and responding in a way that's healthy and good for you, positive, to create a positive experience from all your negative experiences. And I think that's a really important concept. Getting enough sleep is important, and so we deal with those issues by teaching you methods. I'll give you one very simple one right now, or when you're stressed out, is take your hands and create C and sort of thread your hands into one another. Okay, interlock them. Just because of the way your hands are made and its structure, your thumb on one hand and the knuckle on your index finger on the other actually are putting acupressure on a heart point that's meant to sedate you or calm you a little bit. And then just begin to breathe. And any type of meditative breathing that you do will work, whether you follow your breath in and out, whether you just say, I will just begin to count. If you have a thought, just go whoops and go back to 1. If you find that you can't count, make a sound. Just do something that gives you something to concentrate on for 5 minutes. Lower your blood pressure that way, lower your heart rate, and get back to the task at hand. Way back, the Best of New York magazine actually had me featured. Can I get it there? I don't think you can get it online anymore. Relax already. Phyllis M. Shapiro. Their editor came that day to be treated for a stress, what was new in the city for stress. And it was interesting because he arrived at my office and was so stressed out that I sort of said, I think you need a treatment before we talk. And so I gave him a treatment, and he got up, and I can read to you what he said, but he just said, Phyllis M. Shapiro, a licensed acupuncturist, asks her clients or patients where they hold tension, then slides a dozen or so needles into the relevant pressure points along their ears. I barely felt a prick, but within minutes my ears were throbbing painlessly, and my head seemed to bloom into la-la land. The world was deliciously far away. I believe I have a copy of that on my website. Please check my website. There are other suggestions on how to handle stress and how to handle life. And if you want more on a blog, please just ask me for more. Ask a question. But removing stress or the effects of stress from your life is one of the most important things you can do for your health. And I will be happy to help you in any way that I can. Sheshe.